In this video, we're going to talk about complex solutions and zeros. So let's say you have x squared plus 4 equals 0. How would you solve for x? You want to get rid of positive 4, so you want to subtract 4 both sides. And you have to square root both sides to solve for x. So you end up getting positive, negative, square root of negative 4. Now, what is a radical negative 4? You get positive negative. This is the same thing as radical negative 1 times radical 4, which is going to be 2i. So you have two solutions. You have positive I, and you have positive 2i and negative 2i. Now, let's take a look at this equation. Let's solve for x. So you want to add 11 to both sides. You get 2x squared equals negative 36. And you want to divide by 2 both sides. So you get x squared equals negative 18. Now how do you solve for x? X equals positive negative radical negative 18. And you know that this will be positive negative radical negative 1 times radical 18. So what is radical 18 when you simplify? Well, that's 9 times 2. So 3 comes out, and 2 has to stay inside. So radical 18 is the same thing as 3 radical 2. So this will be positive negative 3 radical 2 times I. Or you could just say 3i radical 2. They want us to find the zeros of f of x equals 4x squared plus 20. When they say find the zeros, it means find the x-intercepts. So zeros is another word for x-intercepts. How do you find the x-intercept of a given function? Well, you know that f of x is the same thing as y. F of x is another notation for y. You find x-intercepts by setting y equals 0. So whenever you have x-intercept, that x-intercept has a y value of 0. So set the y value equal to 0, and you solve for x. So subtract 20 both sides. Negative 20 equals 4x squared. Divide by 4 both sides, you get negative 5. So therefore, x equals positive negative radical negative 5, which is the same thing as positive negative radical negative 1 times radical 5. And you know that radical negative 1 is I, so you end up getting positive negative I radical 5. By the way, this is the same thing as positive negative radical 5i. These two are the same thing. Now make sure that I is not inside the radical. Now notice, our x-intercepts are imaginary. It's not real. So let's graph f of x equals 4x squared plus 20 and see what happens. So I'm going to use my graphing calculator to graph 4x squared plus 20. And notice, this is a parabola going up. And you don't have any x-intercepts. And remember, our x-intercepts were imaginary. That's why we didn't have any x-intercepts. Because x-intercepts are imaginary. It's not real.